Hi there, I'm Johann.
I'm Paul.
And welcome to this Pocketbox game tutorial video.
We're going to be showing you Heraldry. So hopefully you've picked it up from the games chest and you're ready to play.
So you've probably got this video because you scanned the QR code that got you here, which means you've either bought it or playing around with someone who already has. So in that case, we'd just like to say thank you.
Thank you so much. So first things first, we'll take the game out and we'll remove the rule book because we're going to be showing you how to play.
Cool. So the game, as it were, is a very tactical game, and it's one that sort of takes a little bit of time in figuring out some of the mechanics. We're going to show you mechanics first before we get to proper play.
So first things first, you'll note when you get the game out, there are two identical decks of 9 cards. One is the blue family and one is the red family. Yep. So first of all, you take one of the families and you can have a look at the cards. And you'll note they're exactly the same. So each one, there's no luck involved in this game at all. So my hand is 1 to 9 and yours is also 1 to 9.
Exactly. So the idea is that we all know which cards everyone else has. There's no luck because of that. Now, in this game, it's all about going up on a scale in terms of the cards. We're going to have cards in a line, and in that thing, we're talking about certain mechanics and rules that we can do with each card. So we're going to demonstrate some of that now. So for now, I am going to be playing a 5.
Perfect. So when a card gets played, you can do one of 3 options. So the first thing is you can play a card that is higher than that card that's been played. So right now, Johan's played the 5. I can play any card higher, so the 6, or the 7, or the 8, or the 9. So I can play a card that is higher than the 5, or I can play a card at exactly 1 under. So 1 under a 5 is a 4, so I can play the 4. Or I can play a combination of 2 cards, exactly 2 cards, which equal that. So I can play the 1 and the 4, or the 2 at the 3. So 2 and a 3 equals the 5. And when I do that, this is called a banishment, or banishing the cards. So this card would then go to you, in front of you, out of your hand, and these cards would sit on the table. When you banish a card, you can play these cards in any order. So I could play the 3, then the 2, or the 2, then the 3. So they're the 3 options that we have.
Now, there are 2 special cards in the deck. There is the 6, and then there's the 3. So if we want to have a demonstration here, basically, these are very special because they have a little icon on the thing here. So in this case, you have a 2, so I'm going to play the 3. This 3 at the bottom shows that anything with a golden chalice, which in this case are all the odd numbers, I can play immediately afterwards. So in this case, I'm going to play from the 3, and then go and play 5. That is sort of the first setup. There's also the other card on this one, which is also the 6, which is the knight. In a similar vein of it, if you play the 6, that's a word, you see that all the silver acorns, in this case all the even numbers. So I can pick any even number, including anything lower. So I can play that immediately afterwards if you wanted to. Now, with those 2 cards, you don't technically have to play it. It's a may choice. Depending on what you want to do, you might realize you don't want to play the 4 afterwards, but it gives you the option just in case.
Excellent. So that's kind of all the cards and kind of how you play them. Again, the easiest way to probably learn how to play is playing it out, really. So
we're going to go for 1 round of Heraldry and see how it all goes.
So the first round of the first game, we shuffle our cards. So we just need to pick who starts, essentially, and then we alternate for each round. So we shuffle our cards and we'll literally play the top card, and whoever has the highest goes first. On a tie, we continue playing cards and see who goes. Unbelievable.
Let's try this again.
So I win this one. So the 7 beats the 4. So this is just to find out who plays first on the first round, which will be me. So we take the cards back in our hands and we start. I can start by playing any card I want to. And now I could play the 9, I could play the 1. And just for demonstrations, I'm just going to play the 4. So the 4 sits out and I've done my turn. That's all it is. So I played the 4. And so there's no luck in this game at all. So Johann knows in my hand there is 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And the further you go on, you can literally see every card being played out.
So, this now gives me a thought. Do I want to play 1 card lower? Do I want to play something higher? Or do I want to banish it? Something like a 4, for example, might not be a good card to banish. It's a bit low. It's only 4 points if it's banished to the player, so it's not really that important. But there might be some things I would like to do. So what I'm going to attempt to do in order to sort of start losing more points in my hand, because at the end of the day, the only way to win is to have the least points. So I'm going to play the 3. And with that 3, I'm going to immediately then play another odd number or chalice number, which will then be a 5. So that's what I'm doing for my turn.
So now I could play any card higher than the 5, so 6, 7, 8, 9. I could play 1 card under the 5, which I cannot because I've already played the 4.
Yes.
Or I can play 2 cards which banish it. So I'm just going to do that just to show it. So So I'm going to play the 3 and the 2. And again, I can play them in any order. So I'm actually going to play the 2 on the 3.
Yes.
And so that equals 5, so that would banish. So like Johann said, this goes in front of you. So this actually scores.
So at the end of the game.
The one with the lowest score at the end of the game, end of the round, wins. So at the moment, we know you're on at least 5 points.
Yeah. So something else to clarify as well. As you can see, you played a 2 and a 3. If you're ever playing anything, a combination of cards to banish something with either the 3 or the 6, the ability doesn't apply. So in other words, you can't immediately play another chalice card in that case. Right, so now I have to come back with a rebuttal. So now I have to think of what's the best option to do a rebuttal in this case. I'm going to keep it fairly safe, and now I'm going to then play my 4.
Beautiful. So I can then play anything higher. A 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. I can play 1 under, which I cannot. So you're kind of forcing me to play higher cards, which
Exactly.
I'm going to probably play, just jump right in and play. In fact, I can play the 6. So with that, I can play any silver acorn or even. Now, Johann knows, and I'll just show everyone, I've only got the 8 left, which I could play. So I might not want to play that right now because it could be banished. So I'm not going to play another card. So I'm going to leave the 6 on its own.
Okay. So like I said, it's a may. It's not installed. You're not forced to do it. You can do it if you like. So now I'm having to think of what to play next. So I technically, already knowing that my 5 is banished, I can't play that. So again, you're forcing me to go high. So in this case, I am going to now play 7.
I can't banish the 7 because I need a combination of 2 cards which equal the 7. So the 6 and the 1, I've already played the 6. The 2 and the 5, I've played the 2, and the 3 and the 4, which are already out. So I cannot banish this card.
Okay.
So I have got to play 1 under, which I cannot because that's been played. So I have to go over. So I've got to play a high card. So I'm actually going to play a 9 and unfortunately probably get punished for this.
So you're playing the 9. So what I'm then going to do is as follows. I am now going to do this. I'm going to banish that card because I actually have enough card to do so. So by doing that, by banishing it, I'm going to banish it by playing the 1 and the 8, which removes that 9 completely out of the picture.
And so now I'm scoring 9 points at least. So I'm looking like I might lose this round.
Sure.
So with leaving the 8 there, though, I can kind of get out of it a little bit. So I can play 1 under. I still have the 7.
Yes.
I'd play the 7 to hopefully get out of this situation. But
so now with this case here, we've got the 7. So what I'm going to do, play 1 card lower, which is a 6, but then allows me to play another even, which will be the 2.
It's a nice move. So I can now play higher.
Yes.
And we can work out what cards in my hand. So I've got the 1. I haven't got the 2 or 3 or 4. I have a 5. I haven't got the 6. I haven't got the 7. I haven't got the 9. So I've got the 1, 5, and 8. So you can actually work out each other's hands. So there's no luck in this game at all. It creates of kind of maths, puzzles, card counting, tactics.
Yes.
So I'm actually going to play 1 under, potentially. No, I'm going to go over. I'm going to play thumbnail.
So now we're actually end point, because the whole point being is, can I play something bigger than that? I technically can. This means I'm at the end of my card at this point. It's because my highest score out of 5 is a 9. So can you play anything more?
I can play a combination of 2 cards which equals the 9, which banishes it.
Yes.
And then goes to you. Now, can you play any cards?
I cannot. I have no cards in my hand left.
So you would knock. Ending the round, I have no cards either. We would then add any cards in our hand to our banished cards, and the one with the lowest score. I have 9 points.
And I have the 9 and the 5.
14.
It's 14. So that means you won.
And that is Heraldry.
Close game, that
It
one.
was very close.
So that's Heraldry. This is the most tactical of the games that we've got. It's slower paced, yes, but it allows you a bit more time to think and allow you to really play a slower, longer game.
So in Heraldry, it'd be the first player to win 3 rounds would win the game. So I hope you enjoyed playing Heraldry and watching how to play.
Yeah, and hope we'll see you again soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Cheers. Bye.